At my mother-in-law's 60th birthday celebration, she stood up, raised her glass, and declared, "Let's all have a good laugh at my daughter's pitiful husband, the worthless nobody who can't even give me grandkids." The entire family clapped and cheered. My wife chimed in, "Well, at least he's handy with a mop." They had no idea I held the power of attorney over Grandpa's estate, controlling the family trust. So I gave a tight smile, dialed the estate attorney, locked eyes with her, and said, "Good luck living broke," before walking out. Now they're taking turns banging on my door. My mother-in-law, Claudia, screams the loudest. "I'll grovel. I'll beg at your feet. Just give us the funds back." I suppose I should have seen it coming, but honestly, I didn't. Not like this. My wife's family has always been intense, but I brushed it off. I figured it was just their wealthy eccentricities, and I never really meshed with them anyway. I'm a casual guy. Jeans, sweatshirt, not into flashy dinners or who's driving the latest luxury car. But my wife, Elise, is their pride and joy. I thought marrying into their world meant I'd have to eat some humble pie now and then. Let me backtrack to the odd thing that happened before the party. Elise was acting unusually sweet, which isn't her norm. She bought me this fancy shirt I'd never wear and kept insisting I put it on for her mom's big 60th. She said things like, "Can you at least look polished for once for my family's sake?" I let it slide. Her mom, Claudia, is obsessed with appearances, but Elise used to be more laid back. Then she started making little jabs, comparing us to her cousin Derek and his wife, who never argue, and how we should emulate them. Whatever. I didn't make a fuss. The party was in this over-the-top venue, like something ripped from a lifestyle magazine. Flickering LED candles everywhere, a string quartet playing music I didn't know, tiny appetizers that left you hungry. Claudia was flitting around, air-kissing guests, cackling loudly, wearing a loud purple dress like she wanted all eyes on her. I stayed by the bar, trying to stay out of the spotlight. I've never been one of them. They're all about family legacy, which is just code for, "When are you giving us heirs, Mason?" Claudia's been on my case from the start. She calls me the stand-in, like I'm just holding space until Elise finds someone better, but always with a smile so she can play innocent if confronted. Elise used to defend me, but lately, she's been parroting the same nonsense, talking about preserving the family name and how I should step up for everyone. Not for her, for her mom. Like I'm supposed to be their legacy machine or something. I don't know. The thing is, Claudia's whole world revolves around this trust her father, Grandpa Victor, set up. But she doesn't control it. When Victor got ill last year, he asked me to take over as power of attorney because I was the only one he trusted not to squander it on frivolous things. Not because I'm some financial wizard, but because I actually paid attention when he talked about his wishes. And I'm not reckless with money. The family doesn't know the extent of my role. Claudia acts like she's in charge, but she's basically living off trust advances, pretending it's her empire. So, back to the party. It's all a haze, people making polite chit-chat, smiling through gritted teeth. But you could feel the judgment in the air. I was mostly on my phone, texting my friend Caleb about a new video game patch, trying to avoid being roped into group photos. They played a slideshow of Claudia's life, way too many childhood pictures. Then she stood up to give her speech. That's when things got ugly. She starts with crocodile tears, talking about how family is our foundation, and we've faced so many challenges together. Then she turns, stares right at me, and shifts gears. She says something like, "Some of us are blessed with strong partners who provide for their families and give us heirs. Not everyone's so fortunate." The room chuckles. That uneasy kind where people glance around to check if it's okay. Then she doubles down, saying, "Let's all have a laugh at my daughter's pitiful husband, the worthless nobody who can't even give me grandkids." I'm standing there, holding a plate of some overpriced dessert, thinking, did she really just say that? No one stops her. No one. Some people actually clap. Elise is right beside her. I look at her, expecting her to shut it down. Instead, she says, "Well, at least he's handy with a mop." Then she smirks at her mom. They both crack up. A few of Claudia's friends join in, like I'm the punchline at some cruel comedy show. My hands are trembling. I set my plate down and stare at Elise, trying to figure out if this is a prank, if I missed some rich people's joke. She just looks away, like she's ashamed to be near me. Derek slaps my shoulder and tells me to man up. It's like I'm invisible. I catch my reflection in a mirror and feel like a fool in this ridiculous shirt I didn't even want. I stand there for a moment, frozen, not hearing much else. Someone tries to pull me back into the crowd, but I brush them off. That's when it hits me. The trust, the power of attorney, the fact that Claudia has no idea what she's risking by humiliating me in front of everyone. No one in the room knows I can cut off her entire lifestyle. Just me and the estate attorney, Rachel, who's sharp as a tack and despises Claudia almost as much as I do. I step outside, pull out my phone. My pulse is racing, but not from fear. I'm furious. I call Rachel. Tell her to halt all trust distributions immediately. No exceptions. I don't care if Claudia calls her in tears. Rachel says, "You sure about this?" I say, "Absolutely." I can see Claudia through the window, still basking in the spotlight. I walk back in, march straight up to her, and in front of everyone I say, "Good luck living broke." Not shouting, not dramatic, just loud enough for her to hear. She looks at me, baffled. I turn and leave. Elise tries to stop me at the door, grabbing my arm hard. Her nails dig in. I shake her off and say, "Ask your mom why she thought it was fine to shame me in front of everyone." She glares, mutters something I can't hear, and slams the door behind me. I hear people murmuring, "What's his deal?" And, "Did he just threaten her?" as I walk away. Outside, I keep moving. Get in my car. Drive home. No music. Just silence. My phone's buzzing nonstop. Texts from Elise. Missed calls from Claudia. Even Derek sends a furious voicemail about wrecking the party. When I get home, I collapse on the couch, stare at the ceiling. My dog keeps nudging me with his toy like nothing's wrong. I keep replaying the years of subtle jabs, the comments about me being a letdown, the times Claudia told Elise she could do better. I always let it go, thinking it wasn't worth the fight. But tonight, no way. I'm done being their doormat. I don't know if Elise will come home tonight, or if she'll try to paint me as the villain. I just know I'm done taking their crap. If Claudia wants to play queen, she can do it without a dime from the trust. Let's see how long she lasts. You might think I overreacted, but if you'd heard the way they laughed, you'd understand. Anyway, I'll update if things escalate. For now, I'm letting them stew. They wanted a spectacle. They got one. Update one, okay? You wanted an update? And I'm not even sure where to begin because this mess has spiraled. I thought they'd get mad. Maybe Elise would ignore me for a few days, and Claudia would send one of her passive-aggressive emails. Instead, my phone's exploding. Calls, texts, even emails. Who still uses email for this? My dog's barking like crazy because someone's hammering on my door at 7 a.m. The first thing that pissed me off was the family group chat. Elise's whole clan is tearing into me. Stuff like, "How could you do this to Claudia after all she's done for you? And you humiliated us in front of everyone." Not one person asked what she said to me. Not one. Derek's whining about how I ruined Claudia's big day and says I owe an apology. No one mentions the garbage she spewed about me. It's like I flipped a table for no reason. Then Elise starts texting me nonstop. Pages of angry rants about how I'm destroying her family's legacy. How I owe it to her to fix this. She actually wrote, "You can't just lock the trust, Mason. You're not in charge of everything." I sent her a screenshot of the trust paperwork. Told her, read the fine print. She went quiet after that. For a bit, anyway. An hour later, I'm eating toast, and the door bangs again. I open it, and there's Claudia in her oversized sunglasses, acting like she's some celebrity. She storms in without asking, yelling about how I'm ruining her life and how everyone will see who you really are. I tell her, "You dug this hole. Deal with it." She tries to push past me toward the kitchen, like she's looking for something to use against me. I block her. She swings at me. I grab her arm and tell her to leave my place. She yanks free, slams the door. Neighbors definitely heard. Someone in the hall muttered, "What's going on out there?" It's so messed up. Claudia's always had it out for me. But now that I've actually done something, she's losing it. I know why she acts like this. Her whole identity is about control, being the center of attention. I was always the odd one out, the guy she couldn't parade around to boost her image. She never wanted Elise to marry someone who didn't make her look good. Now she's furious because I'm the one who can pull the plug. Later, Elise calls. I let it go to voicemail. Her message starts soft, like, "Can we just talk this out?" By the end, she's yelling about how I'm forcing her to choose between me and her family. I text back, "You chose last night." She leaves it on read. I'm guessing she's with Claudia. Or maybe Derek. Who knows? I spend the day walking my dog trying to clear my head. But every time I check my phone, there's more chaos. Claudia's friends, people I don't even know, are messaging me, calling me cruel and selfish. I block them. Keep moving. By afternoon, things get weirder. I get a call from Rachel, the attorney. She's like, "You sure you want to go all in?" I say yes. She warns me, "This is going to get nasty." I tell her I'm ready. I'm not scared of Claudia. Let her try. Rachel says, "Don't answer any calls from Elise's family, especially about emergencies or medical stuff. They'll pull anything." I say, "Got it," and hang up. Then my mom texts, which is wild because she stays out of drama. She says, "What happened?" Aunt Clara said you wrecked a party and made Elise cry. I call her, tell her what Claudia said, all the years of garbage I've taken. Mom sighs, says she had no idea it was that bad. She tells me, stand your ground, but watch yourself. These people play dirty. I say I'm not worried. She says, you say that now. Be careful. Around 5 p.m., Elise shows up at my building, buzzes until I let her in. She doesn't sit, just stands there, arms crossed, and says, you're really doing this? You're gonna destroy my family over a dumb joke? I tell her, it wasn't a joke, and you know it. She says, Mom's losing it. She can't pay her bills. I say, that's her problem. She tries to guilt me, saying, you're ruining everything. We'll lose the house. I'll never forgive you. I say, you stood there while your mom called me a nobody and laughed. She shoves me, storms out, slams the door. Word must have spread because now Derek's texting saying he wants to sort this out like men. I tell him, stay away. He says I'm blowing it out of proportion, that I'm not really family anyway. I block him. Claudia sends a novel-length text about how I'm making lifelong enemies and I'll regret it. I reply, good luck living broke. No response. Right now, Claudia's cut off. The trust is frozen. No one's getting a penny until Rachel says so. Elise is probably staying with her mom. My mom's checking in daily to make sure I'm okay. Neighbors are side-eyeing me, probably because of the shouting. I don't care. This is what happens when you push someone too far. Claudia wanted to be in charge. She can figure out how to pay her bills for once. Elise made her choice. I'm not begging her to come back. I'm not sure what's next, but I know they're not done. Claudia doesn't know how to lose, and Elise hates being sidelined. I'm not backing down. If they want to fight, they picked the wrong guy. Update 2. I figured after the door pounding and Claudia's meltdown, she'd give up once she realized the money was gone for good. Nope. She's got no chill when it comes to making my life hell. I've had my phone on silent for days because the notifications are relentless. Elise and Derek are texting me every morning. Then I start getting calls from random numbers. Some cousin or family friend I barely know, suddenly wanting to talk it out and fix things. Yeah, sure. What pissed me off most was how fast they ramped it up. Claudia went from pleading to full-on attack mode in a day. First she tried guilt, then she got mad, then she went public. A friend, not even a close one, tipped me off that Claudia was telling her book club and gym buddies I'd stolen her money and was holding the family hostage. She posted vague nonsense on social media like, some people reveal their true selves when money's involved, with a crying emoji. I almost laughed. But then strangers started messaging me, asking if it was true. I had to block people left and right. It got worse. She dragged Elise into it, dragged my parents into it. My mom called, said Claudia emailed her a rant about how I'm unstable and not supporting Elise, and maybe my parents should step in. I told Mom everything. She sighed, said, you know what you're doing, but watch your back. She's not wrong. Sometimes I hear people outside my door, just standing there, muttering. One day, Derek showed up unannounced, didn't buzz, just waited for someone to let him in. He starts banging on my door, shouting loud enough for the whole building to hear, saying I'm tearing the family apart and need to fix it like a man. I yell through the door, talk to your mom if you want money. He kicks the door and leaves. Neighbors stopped looking at me for a while after that. I tried to keep my head down, but it's tough. Elise's texts are all over the place. One day begging, please just release the trust, Mom's not well. The next day accusing me of ruining her life and saying she never should have married me. Not once does she apologize or acknowledge what she did at the party. I keep telling her, you made your choice. Meanwhile, Claudia's desperate. I heard from Rachel that she tried to hire a lawyer to challenge the trust, but there's no case. Victor's documents are airtight, and I've got every email and text to prove he wanted it this way. Claudia claimed I coerced Victor, but no one bought it. Not even her lawyer, who dropped the case after seeing the paperwork. Rachel keeps me updated, says I'm in the clear, but to watch for creative attacks. And yeah, they got creative. Someone, probably Claudia, started spreading rumors that I'm mentally unstable and unfit to manage the estate. A mutual friend called asking if I was okay, like I needed a therapist. I said I'm fine, just done with the drama. He didn't seem convinced, but whatever. It didn't stop there. Claudia started posting old photos of Elise and me on social media, but only ones where I look awkward or annoyed. Captions like, praying for peace in tough times. Elise's brother Simon chimed in with comments about family betrayal and weak men. I blocked him too. It's insane how fast people turn when their cash flow dries up. Claudia's falling apart financially. She's never handled her own money, always relied on the trust. Now creditors are calling and her friends are bailing. Elise texted that her mom's having panic attacks and can't sleep and it's my fault. I told her, your mom did this, not me. She called me heartless and hung up. I'll admit, I've wondered a couple times if I went too far. My dad called. Said he heard I'd cut off the family and asked if I was sure about this. I told him, "You didn't hear what they said to me." He went quiet. He gets it, but he hates drama. I do too, but I'm not letting this slide. My sister's the only one who's been cool. She texted, "Proud of you, honestly," with a meme about family chaos. First time I laughed in days. Then things escalated again. Claudia and Elise started showing up at my building, causing scenes in the lobby. One day, they cornered me as I came back from walking my dog. Claudia tried to block the elevator. Elise was yelling. Claudia grabbed at my arm. I pushed past. She slapped my shoulder. Elise screamed that I was destroying the family and I'd regret it. I told them, "Want the trust back? Apologize publicly to my face in front of everyone who saw what you did." Claudia went pale. Elise glared and stormed off with her. After that, I got called into meetings with the building manager about disturbances. Yeah, great. I told them, "Talk to the people yelling in your halls, not me." They said they'd handle it. I started wearing earbuds whenever I left my place to avoid the noise. Even work got weird. Colleagues asking if everything's okay at home, like they'd heard something. One guy mentioned seeing Claudia's family betrayal post online. I just said, "Family's messy," and moved on. But you can feel it. People looking at you differently. No one wants to get involved, but everyone's watching. Claudia tried one last legal stunt, a wellness check claiming she was worried about my mental state. Cops came, asked a few questions, saw I was fine, and left. I texted Claudia, "This is your last warning." No reply. Now she's desperate. Rachel says Claudia's trying to get a loan against her house, but no one will touch her because her credit's shot without the trust. She's selling jewelry, renting out her guest house, everything. Elise texted, "You win. We're miserable." I said, "I'm not doing this for fun. I just want respect." She left me on red. So that's where things stand. They're running out of options. But Claudia's not done. I can feel it. She's the type to burn it all down before admitting defeat. I'm not giving in. It's wild how fast people show their true colors when the money's gone. But I don't feel bad, not after what they did. We'll see what they try next. I'm not backing down. Final update. I thought after the lobby showdowns and Claudia's cryptic social media posts, she'd back off and fade into the background. Wrong. She's got more fight in her than I expected, even with no money. You know that feeling when you're walking your dog and see a car parked out front and you just know it's not a neighbor? That's my life now. I see her gray SUV parked sloppily by the curb, and I think she's not even pretending to be subtle anymore. The first time I caught her waiting, she was just sitting there, phone in hand, sunglasses on, like she's staking me out. I didn't stop, just took the long way around the building until she left. But the next day, she was back. This time, she got out when I approached. She looked rough, not her usual polished self. More like she hadn't slept in days. No fake charm this time. She went straight for me, asking how I could do this. Didn't I care that Elise was suffering? Didn't I know she was ill and couldn't afford her meds? She tried to grab my sleeve, but I stepped back and said, "You made this mess, not me." She started sobbing and shouting. Then Elise appeared, trying to pull her mom back. They both started yelling. Elise calling me cruel, Claudia saying she'd do anything, just give her the funds back. She'd beg on her knees, kiss my shoes, whatever. I told them, "You want the money?" Public apology to my face, in front of everyone who saw what you did. Claudia froze. Elise glared. Then Claudia actually did it. Dropped to the pavement, crying, clawing at my shoes. I shook her off and went inside. Elise slammed the door behind me. I could hear Claudia screaming outside, begging, but I didn't go back. That night, Elise sent a dozen texts, starting angry, then desperate, then just, "I hope you're satisfied." I didn't respond. Claudia called, left a long voicemail about losing everything, her house, her friends, her health, and it's all my fault. I deleted it. I guess there's only so many times you can say please before it's meaningless. The fallout came fast. Derek texted, saying I was ruining the family legacy and no one would ever speak to me again.